So like I was mentioning, the way the meeting's going to work is I'm going to do a quick overview of the platform. I don't want to bog you down with too much information, just really the basics. And then we're going to go straight into our app. Oh, this way, this way, this way. Going to go straight into our app and just go ahead and start posting. I think the best way to really learn about social media platforms is to use them. But it is good to kind of give yourself a sense of what the platform was made out of, what the platform is made for, and what kind of content performs well on it. If you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to write it in the chat right here. I keep on pointing the opposite way because I have a mirror effect going. Don't hesitate to just jump in the chat right now. I can't see if your hand is raised currently, just the way my setup is right now. So just put your question in the chat and I will address it later. Work for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Twitter, I'm going to start with my presentation down here. So Twitter is one of the 4 major social media platforms. It is the smallest. It has about 330 million users. And unlike the other social media platforms, which you may or may not be familiar with, it's more about sharing of ideas. So Instagram is a platform that is about sharing your aesthetic, sharing your photos, your craft, things that are very beautiful. LinkedIn, if you don't know, is a platform that is more about sharing your career. Facebook as a platform has been built now to really share about things and content around your friends and family. And Twitter is about sharing your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas. So when we tweet, I highly recommend to never tweet I think. When you're tweeting, it's assumed that that's what you think. So it's not necessary to write I believe, dup, 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 dup. Just go right out and tweet it. Going back into some of the particularities of Twitter. So, what should you post on this platform? What performs best is latest news, expert insight into specific topics, and lighthearted relief. This is the kind of content that people go on Twitter for. So it's a very immediate platform. What is happening now is happening on Twitter. This is what they've built it around, which is why news performs really well. Insight, which is, let's say there's a news story and you want to express your opinion to that news story. And lighthearted relief, just straight up fun. If you have a funny tweet, something funny, a funny picture, these are the things that Twitter is really built around sharing. Other things that you should know about the platform, which you may or may not know, is there's a character limit, which means that how much you type on your post is limited to 280 characters. So you got to be really precise, you got to be really to the point. You can't go on and on and on because it's not the way the platform is built. As I mentioned, it's very fast moving. Most posts live on the feed for 24 hours. What that means is when we post something on ICC WBO, for example, typically when a user goes onto Twitter, after 24 hours, that post, 48 hours, that post is likely not to show up on their feed. Another thing that is very important to understand about Twitter is that you cannot edit a post. This is the nightmare of social media managers everywhere. If you have a typo in your Twitter post, you cannot edit it. It is built like this because Twitter, posts on Twitter move very, very quickly. So if you post something, the potential for that to get shared and to go viral is top on this platform as compared to others. So you cannot edit a post. Once it's out there, it's out there. It spreads like wildfire if it's good, so you can't go back and edit it. So be very careful of typos is all I'm trying to say. Posting regularly is encouraged on this platform, unlike LinkedIn, which prefers less posting. So posting regularly once a day is totally fine. It's, as I mentioned, it's really the best platform for virality, meaning if you want a post to go viral, Some other platforms really don't have this capability. Like you can't really go viral on Instagram, for example, but you really can. Anyone can go viral on Twitter if your content is good enough, which is part of the appeal. Hashtags and meaning handles, are also very important to the platform in terms of visibility. And we're going to talk about that next when we open up our apps, which we are going to do now. Before I jump into my phone, does anyone have any questions about what I just very, very quickly, probably too fast, talked about? All right, so let's just jump right into it. I'm going to ask you to take out your phones now and go ahead and open your app. Bear with me. So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to scroll through the feed. This is your news feed here. It works very much like a news feed on Facebook or a news feed on Instagram. So let me ask you, what is the first thing that you are seeing on your feed? Is it news? Is it lighthearted relief? Is it someone's opinion or someone's thought on something? You could just go ahead and write in the chat. What is it that you're seeing when you open up your app in your feed? This is ICC's feed, so it's different than yours. Tennis. Okay, so Catherine is seeing tennis. So, trick question or bonus question, what is making Catherine see a tennis post as opposed to ICC WBO's account, which is seeing something about SMEs and climate action? Does anyone have an idea? You could just write your answer in the chat. Or speak out, it's okay.
Because I follow a lot of tennis players and sport.
Okay. Whitney's getting a lot of K-pop groups. Yes, Catherine, that's exactly right. This is the product of the algorithm. So the algorithm is going to determine what you see on your feed. And the reason why Catherine is seeing tennis, Whitney, K-pop groups, is because you follow these people and the algorithm has detected that. So it's important to note that not everyone, for example, if I tweet right now on ICC WBO, it might not show up on Catherine's feed because the algorithm is going to put tennis over ICC WBO. This is how it works on every platform. So how do you engage? Oh, I just realized that I didn't change my slide here. Too much going on. So first tweet that you see, Insight News. Looks like we've got a lot of news. So let's engage with some posts. It should, because Laurence is writing that she should be seeing ICC WBO tweets. Well, if you engage with ICC WBO, then you will see more tweets down the line. That's how it works. If you like what you're seeing, you can engage with it, which we're going to talk about, and you will see more of that kind of content. So how do you engage on Twitter? Like a lot of other platforms, you can share, you can like, you can reply. So let's take, I'm going to go into ICC's main account here. So how do you like something on Twitter? It's a little bit difficult to see here, but hold on, let me scroll up. If you see a little heart button, and you're going to see it light up on my phone, that is how you like something on Twitter. So if you see a post that you like, you just hit heart and you like it. Very straightforward. I'm going to ask you right now to go in your feed, scroll down a little bit, and just like something. Doesn't have to be ICC posts, even though I'm a little biased. But go ahead and scroll through the feed and like something. So you just get a sense of how it works. I'll give you about 30 seconds to like a post. Okay, so The other way that you can engage on Twitter is retweeting. Retweeting is sharing a post. And the way you do that is clicking right next to the like button. You have this little, do you see it here? This little, looks like a square with two arrows going around it. This is how you retweet. Does anybody know the difference between liking and retweeting? Tweets on your account. Yes, retweet means it's copied on your profile. Perfect, Sophie. Thank you. A retweet means it is posted on your account. So if you like something, you like it. If you retweet something, you really like it. You like it enough that it is identified with your thoughts and your beliefs. So a retweet in social media sort of, I would say like social standards, it's a higher like. It's more important than a like. It has more value than a like because you are taking that tweet and you are then sharing it with your community. So I'm going to go ahead and give something a retweet on ICC's main page right now. I think I'm going to maybe search something from John's account. Just bear with me. Section up. Here we go. Up. So if you just click, excuse me. So if you just click this button here, that is going to go ahead and let you retweet onto your feed. And retweet button on the upper right. And now when I go on ICCWBO's page, there is John's tweet. So we have identified that tweet as a thought that we very strongly agree with. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so I'm going to give you just a moment to go ahead and go through your feed again. Just start retweeting things, start liking things, start getting a sense of what it is that you want to see more of and who you want to be on Twitter. If you like it a lot, retweet it. If you like it a little, like it. This is the whole part of being on Twitter. You need to not just engage with yourself. You need to engage with other people so that they engage with you. It's a very, how do I say this? Like fast moving, as I mentioned, but you need to really establish those connections to be able to get those connections. So I'll give you a moment to go ahead and just get a sense of what the feed looks like, liking, retweeting. Catherine, go ahead and tweet and retweet all of those great tennis news stories. The next thing that I am going to ask everybody to do is to tweet. So I don't know, this might be your very first tweet on the page, but it's a very simple, basic way to do it. Is just on the phone itself, on your app, you have this little circle on the bottom that looks like a feather. If you click on that, it's going to enable you to tweet. Just a quick reminder, tweeting is only 280 characters long. So whatever you tweet, it needs to be short, as I mentioned. I have written here, it might be difficult to read, a tweet that we can all do together. I'm not going to do it because I'm connected to ICC's account, but if you could please just right now on your Twitter, click on this blue circle on the bottom and just tweet, setting up my Twitter feed with @ICCWBO. I'll do it with you. Setting up my Twitter feed with at ICC WBO. And that's me. That's us. And fun fact, setting up my Twitter feed was actually the very first tweet that was ever sent by Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter. I think it was in maybe 2006. But so this is, there's a reason why I chose this text, setting up my Twitter feed.
But do we have to type also, how does this post look?
You could go ahead and you could post that. I wrote that as well. It's hard for me to read the PowerPoint. I didn't realize that I wrote that too. How does this post look? How does this? Sure, why not? It's eliciting a question. It might get more replies and engagement. Why not?
And you know, I was trying to look for Catherine on Twitter, but I don't even know how to find her. Because there are many Catherine Foster.
Ah, I see.
Well, yeah, my personal account is a bit hidden. It's a challenge.
Ah.
Actually, I can tell you.
No, it's myself. So you're not Catherine Foster?
Froz 92. FROZ 92.
So once everybody has that typed out, please go ahead and hit tweet, which is on the upper right-hand corner.
Ah, yeah, I found you. You don't even have a picture.
No, I just follow a lot of people.
Yeah, me too.
Especially with US election time.
I'm really not active on Twitter. I'm more active on Instagram, but just for personal stuff. Instagram
is about 3 times as big as Twitter, even though it's a much newer platform. But it's very normal. It's very common that most people are on Instagram these days. It's the fastest growing social media platform. So if everyone is done tweeting, I should have gotten the notifications. Let's see, mentions. Setting up my Twitter. So now I can see you, Whitney. I can see you, Laurence, setting up my Twitter feed, Sophie. As you can see, every time that ICCWBO was mentioned, if you see this bell on the bottom, when I click that, I am seeing those notifications. This is why using a handle on Twitter is really important, because it's going to get your post noticed. So I'm going to go ahead up and like all of your posts. Thank you guys so much for doing that. And I'm going to follow you back. The other way that you engage with someone on Twitter is you follow back. So Laurence, for example, when you mentioned me, I got the notification. I can click on your profile. I'm already following you. So then you can follow someone back. Okay. Social media, Whitney, I'm going to go ahead and follow you too. And who else sent that tweet out? Sophie, thank you for sending that up. Okay, so I started talking about a little bit going into your profile. Let's take a moment and look at your own profile. Laurence, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to use you as an example. To look at someone's profile, you simply click their handle. Voila, this is Laurence's profile. You have one too. If you want to access your own profile, you click this. There's an arrow above Laurence's head in the picture that's pointing to the left. And if you click that, you will see your icon. And then you're going to have your own profile come up on the side. But let's explore Laurence's profile for the time being. Oops, sorry. Let's explore Laurence's, and I keep on missing it. Okay, so on your profile, as you can see, you can have a little bit of a bio on the top. You can have a photo and an icon. You can also put a link. When you scroll through your own feed, you're going to see retweets. Laurence, thank you for retweeting ICCWBO. You're going to see tweets, and you're also going to be able to see everything that they liked. So when we were going through the previous, like in the very beginning when I said, go ahead and like whatever you like, you are also making those likes public. So I can see, I hope you don't mind, I can see what it is that Laurence liked when I said to like things a couple of minutes ago. Voila. So it's everything that you do is public. The retweets appear here, your likes appear here, and your replies appear in the middle. So that is pretty much the end of the hands-on portion of the Twitter training. Now I just want to go to you guys for questions. Do you have any? Was it clear? Do you have anything that you want me to go back on? Now it's really the open floor. I have the chat right here. We didn't get many questions during the training itself, so now is the time to go ahead and ask whatever it is I maybe went through too fast. Is it important that we retweet ICC's posts? Absolutely. When you retweet a post, it gives it more visibility. So you're helping ICC by retweeting our content to your community. If, Laurence, if you tweet something and you tag ICC and it's relevant to our community, we're going to retweet it as well. And that's going to help you. That's going to help build your profile and build your social brand, is what we like to call it. So absolutely important to do. We retweet from staff pretty often. We don't have too many staff, ICC staff on Twitter. But when they do and when they tag ICC, we're always engaging. So if you engage with us, we're going to engage back, is the short answer. But it helps us get exposure, and it helps if it's content that really hits close to home. It's important for your campaign as well, so you can help amplify your own work. What is the hashtag used for? Great question. So hashtags on Twitter are very important in the sense that it's going to let you tap into other conversations that are going on. So I'm going to give you a very clear example. ICCWBO, we just tweeted about arbitration. We tweeted and we hashtagged arbitration. And when you click on the arbitration hashtag, it's going to bring up not only our hashtags that use arbitration, but every other person on Twitter who is also hashtagging arbitration. So it puts you right into the conversation about arbitration that's happening right now. This is why hashtags are important. ICCWBO has some hashtags that you might have heard of before, like Save Our SMEs hashtag. This is a hashtag that we have created so that we start a conversation on Twitter about a certain topic. You can also see in this little, if you see the magnifying lens there, if you search, you can see what hashtags are trending in your area. So here we can see that Pronouns Day is trending. These are conversations that are trending right now on Twitter. Let's see. Hold on just one sec. Chat. The questions are coming in a little bit fast. Can you be sure to pick how can you be sure to pick the appropriate hashtags? So hashtags are what I would suggest is if you're starting a campaign to do a little research to make sure your hashtags aren't used. And if you know that there is a hashtag that is associated with your conversation, use it. Let's say, for example, you are attending an event. You are attending an ICC event like ICC Miami. ICC Miami has a hashtag. So if you're talking about that event on your social media feed, I would suggest you use ICC Miami so that other people that are talking about that too will be able to find and discover your tweet. So appropriate hashtags would be either branded hashtags, hashtags that are branded with whatever it is that you're talking about, or hashtags that are trending and that you want to tap into that conversation and be a part of that conversation. Let's see if there's any other questions. John mentioned that a new social media campaign will be launched and that you'll explain it. Well in the training. Can you elaborate what hashtags will be used for this new social media campaign? So this is what John was mentioning was a campaign that we're going to start revolving around the AOK Pass. So this is a project, an initiative that we have started to be able to help restart travel. I don't want to jump the gun. I have a meeting about it in about 30 minutes, so I don't want to get ahead of myself and say the wrong thing. But if you do want to learn a little bit more about that campaign, all you have to do is check out ICC's Twitter tomorrow when we post about it. You'll see the hashtag. It'll probably be ICC AOK Pass. And from there, we're going to share it on other platforms as well. But thank you for your interest in that. Okay, another message. Let's see. Noted. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm just about at time. I wanted this to be short and sweet. I really appreciate everyone who joined us today. I hope that that was clear and useful for your Twitter adventures in the future. Don't forget to tag ICCWBO. We have 2 other social trainings coming up. It's going to be structured very much like this one. Next week is going to be LinkedIn, and then the week after is going to be Instagram. So have a good rest of your day. Whoever's recording this on Teams, please send it over to me. I'd really appreciate that. Bye.